Okay, let's get our morning started. So today we're going to start in child's pose. So as you come to child's pose, big toes together, knees apart. Start to walk the hands forward. Don't come all the way down yet. Just walk the hands forward, look forward, stretch the hips back. Feel some length in the sides of the waist as you push the hips back. And then start to walk the hands over to the right. So we're going to add a little bit of a side stretch to this child's pose. And from here, once you have your hands placed, then you can bring the forehead down toward the ground. And if it doesn't touch, it's okay. You could put something underneath you if you want to. See if you can crawl the left fingertips forward a little bit as you pull the left hip back a little bit. And that should create more length on the whole left side of the body. If you're really tired, keep the eyes open and relaxed. If you're looking to calm down a little bit, close the eyes. Look forward at the hands, lifting the head. Walk it over to the other side. So still staying in your child's pose, walk the hands over to the left, reach forward a little bit. Make sure you can pull the hips back. Let the head come down. Start to crawl the right fingertips forward, pulling the right hip back a little. Really slight, subtle movements to create a little bit more space. So you wouldn't be able to see them, but you could feel them. Look forward, lifting the head. Come back to center with your child's pose and let the head come down. Press down into the hands. Lift the forearms away from the mat. Keep pulling the hips back so you have a nice long spine. Come up to hands and knees, tabletop. And we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow breath. On the inhale, reach the heart forward. On the exhale, round the whole spine. Let the head and the neck go. And just keep going on your own, inhaling forward, exhaling back. If you want to add more movement, you can, or take away movement. Fingers are spread nice and even, and you're pressing down evenly into the hands. Make this the last round wherever you are, forward and back. Back to a neutral spine and tabletop. Walk the hands forward so they're ahead of the shoulders. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. So first one, heels are probably lifted away from the mat. Knees are probably bent unless you're feeling really open in the back sides of the legs. And movement's nice here. So you can pedal out the feet. You can widen the stance so that the feet go wider than hip width. You can sway the hips side to side. Push down into the forefinger and thumb side of the hand, feeling the inside of the arms get really long as you push the mat away from you. Those outer upper arms, hug them in. Hug the lowest front ribs in. Keep pushing the hips up and back. Maybe the heels start to come down a little bit. Then lift the right leg. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Be mindful of the left side of the body. It's still in down dog. Sometimes it wants to go when the right leg goes. Step the right foot forward, up between the hands. Set the back knee down. You want to scoot that left knee as far back as you can get it. Keep the toes tucked, then reach the arms all the way up, coming into a low lunge. So as you reach up with the arms, think about the lower belly, lift that as much as you can and feel the length happen in the tailbone. Keep that action as you lift up. Maybe the gaze goes up. So the chest is lifting up, but you're creating all of that from the lower belly. Now cactus the arms. Bring the elbows back. Keep lifting up, lengthening the tailbone. Reach the arms all the way up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Back toes are already tucked. Just lift the back knee. You're in a lunge. Left hand can be down underneath the shoulder. Right arm reaches up for a twist. If that left hip started to drop, press down into the right foot to level off the hips. Maybe even look down at the mat, then open the chest. Right arm reaches back behind you, feeling a different stretch. It's almost like you're trying to reach over the back of the mat, and then take that circle so that the hand comes down toward the mat, touches the mat, step back to plank pose, bring the knees down, the chest and the chin down, hug those outer elbows in as you look forward, hips are high, and then glide forward onto your stomach, tops of the feet come down. Let's take cobra. Gently release, come back to hands and knees. Quick child's pose, big toes together, sit the hips back, forehead comes down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up and back. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Step the left foot up between the hands. Keep those back toes tucked. Set the back knee down, way back so you're not on the bone, but you're above it. Reach the arms all the way up, coming back into that low lunge. Once the arms are up, bring your attention to the lower belly. Start to lift it as you lengthen the tailbone down. And then keep lifting the chest. Cactus the arms, bring the elbows back. And we're just starting out, so no need to take it too far, but just enough to open up. Reach the arms all the way back up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lift the back knee. Right hand stays down. Left arm reaches up for that twist. Keep the hips level. Keep reaching back behind you. So the left fingertips stretch over the back of the mat. And it's one big long circle. Left hand comes down toward the mat, eventually touching the mat. Step back to plank pose. Lower all the way down to the mat slowly, cobra. Gently release. Hands and knees, big toes together. Quick child's pose to downward facing dog. Look forward toward the top of the mat. Start to tiptoe the feet forward. Take baby steps. Maybe you keep the legs pretty straight. Eventually bringing the feet up between the hands. Keep the feet hip width distance apart. Either clasp opposite elbows or interlace the fingers, reaching the knuckles up toward the sky. If it's too much for the shoulders, clasp opposite elbows, or if that just sounds better, take that option. Let the head be heavy. Bring the hands down to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Reach up. Bring the left arm down by the side. Reach that right arm up and over to the left. So you're reaching down with those left fingertips and you're reaching over with the right fingertips. Keep everything square forward, the chest and the hips. Root down through that right leg so you get even longer. Then reach the left arm all the way back up, switch sides. Right hand comes down by the side. Keep activity through those right fingertips, reaching down toward the mat as you reach up and over with the left hand. Keep everything square. Stay strong in both legs. Reach the right arm back up to the top. Hands come together overhead and down in front of the heart. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Lower all the way down to the mat. One more time. Come up for cobra. Maybe you come up a little bit higher. Exhale, release. Downward facing dog. Hands and knees together, or you can take plank. You decide. Bend the knees, look forward, walk or step the feet forward up between the hands. Forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Reach up, both arms. Left arm comes down by the side, right arm reaches up and over. Same side stretch. Reach the left arm back up, find center, then bring the right arm down by the side, reach up and over with the left arm. Back up with the right arm, come back to center, hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank pose. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. You decide cobra or up dog, whichever one feels better today. Or maybe you switch back and forth between the two. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, looking forward, hugging the belly in, lightly bring the feet forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Get as tall as you can. Bring the left arm down by the side. Reach up and over to the right or to the left with the right arm. Back to center, reaching up, find center. Right arm comes down by the side, up and over with the left. Back up to center, hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale, hands down, back to plank. Lower down halfway to chaturanga. Inhale up for your back bend. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. One more of those. Bend the knees, look forward, feet forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Same thing we did before. Left arm down by the side, right arm reaches up and over. Come back through center, gathering up that length. Take it the other way. Back up through center, palms touch, down in front of the heart. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands down, back to plank pose. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale up for your back bend. Take it back, downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up and back. Open up the hip, bend the knee. step the right foot through up between the hands. Stay on, keep the toes tucked, set that back knee down. Reach the arms all the way up. Start to lift the lower belly. See if you can lengthen the tailbone. Keep reaching up. Look forward. Maybe the nose is going up a little bit. That's fine. Cactus the arms. Reach the elbows way back and then stick out the tongue, lion's breath. Then inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Bring the hands back down to the mat. Lift the back leg. Reach the right arm up. Find that twist. Then keep reaching that right arm back behind you. It's a big circle. Then you rotate the palm to face the center of the mat. Bring that right hand down to the mat. We're taking this up to crescent pose. Keep the feet hip width distance apart. Reach the arms forward and all the way up. So similar thing we were doing with the back knee down. Lift the lower belly, lengthen the tailbone, keep reaching the chest up. Keep that lunge in the front leg. Warrior two. Spin the left heel down flat. Heel to the right foot in a little bit. Nice long stance on your mat for warrior two. Then on your inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the palms together overhead. We'll keep this dynamic. Exhale, warrior two, look forward. Inhale, reach up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. This time, inhale, reach up. Turn those right toes in. So now you're facing the side of the mat. Hips are pointing straight forward, heels in, toes out. Hands come together in front of the heart. Come into a wide-legged squat, goddess pose. And you can move around a little bit if that's feeling good. Don't feel like you have to keep this static. Just keep the chest lifted. Think about having your back up against the wall. Then straighten the legs. Bring the hands to the waist. Point the toes forward first, then angle on the left toes. Turn the right toes all the way out. You're back to warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. And exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Take a vinyasa if you want one, or go straight back to downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up and back. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Try not to take the right hip with you. Step the left foot up between the hands. Keep the back toes tucked as you set the back knee down, stretching the right knee back behind you. Then reach the arms up, low lunge. Lift the lower belly, lengthen the tailbone, cactus the arms. Start to lift the chest, lion's breath, stick the tongue out. Inhale, back up, reach up. Bring the hands down to the mat so that you can lift the back leg. Right hand stays down, left arm reaches up for that twist. Mindful of the strength in the right hip. Reach the left arm back behind you, opening up the chest. Big circle. Bring that left arm down, hand to the mat. Feet hip width distance apart. Adjust your stance if you need to. Crescent pose. Keep lifting the lower belly. Find that length in the back side of the torso. Open it up, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Bring the palms together overhead. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. This time, inhale, reach up, straighten the front leg. Keep reaching up, turn those left toes in so you're facing the side of the mat. Heels in, toes out. Shorter stance for your wide-legged squat. Hands together in front of the heart. Feel free to move. Still lifting the lower belly, keeping the chest nice and open. Straighten the legs, hands to the waist, point the toes straight forward, angle in the right toes, turn the left toes all the way out, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse it. Windmill the hands down to the mat, step back to plank pose, make your way back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward, bring the feet forward, up between the hands. Inhaling up halfway, exhale, fold, chair pose, bend the knees, reach the arms up, sit back. Hug the belly in, keep the chest open. Rise up to standing, hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands down. Optional vinyasa takes you back to downward facing dog. Without lifting the leg up and back, just step the right foot forward, setting up for warrior one. Spin the left heel down flat. Reach the arms forward and up, forward facing warrior. Once you have everything squared forward and the legs are nice and strong, interlace the fingers behind you. Fold forward, humble warrior. If you can lock the elbows, focus on putting a little bend there. Knuckles up toward the sky. Lots of space and freedom for the neck. You can let the head hang. Keep pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Warrior one. Release the hands, reach the arms forward and up. As you lift the lower belly, you lift the heart, maybe you lift the gaze, maybe the palms touch, only if it's okay in the lower back. Then exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, make your way back to downward facing dog. Left foot steps up between the hands, right heel down flat, Vera one. Take your time, come up strong. Square everything forward. Root down through your legs. Keep lifting the chest up. Reach the arms back behind you. Interlace the fingers the other way. Fold forward, humble warrior. So you can rest the torso on the left thigh, or you can let the left side of the torso graze the inside of the thigh. Trying to find a healthy challenge, but not one where you're struggling for the breath. Back to warrior one. Lift the lower belly, lengthen the tailbone, reach up. Maybe the palms come together. And exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step it back, make your way back, down dog. Settle in your downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. Bend the knees, look forward, bring the feet forward. Inhale up halfway, exhale, fold. Bend the knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. Come up to standing, hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank pose. Make your way through a vinyasa if you want one. Back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps forward, up between the hands, left heel down, warrior one. Interlace the fingers, fold forward, humble warrior. Rise back up, warrior one. Find a back bend. Maybe the hands touch. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Make your way back. Left foot steps up, right heel down, Vira one when you're ready. Interlace the fingers the other way. Fold forward, humble warrior. Come back up, warrior one. Maybe the hands touch. And exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step it back to plank pose. Make your way back with the breath. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up and back. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Keep the control of the left side of the body. Level off the chest and the shoulders. Then step the right foot forward, up between the hands. Keep those back toes tucked as you set the back knee down and reach the arms up. Back to your low lunge. Lift the lower belly, lengthen the tailbone. Keep reaching up. Cactus the arms, stick out the tongue, lion's breath. Reach back up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lift the back knee. Left hand stays down. Right arm reaches up for that twist. Reach back with the right arm. Bring the right hand down to the mat. Nice big circle. Crescent pose. So you have a long stance because we shifted the back knee back. You might need to hop it in a little bit. So as you rise up, you have that stability and your feet are set up for the rest of the standing poses. Left heel down, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, straighten the front leg, palms together. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten and lengthen. Exhale, warrior two. This time, inhale, reach up, stay here. Turn those right toes in, heels in, toes out. Goddess pose. Hands come together in front of the heart. Maybe move side to side a little bit. This time, cactus the arms. So keep the chest nice and wide. Then bring the right elbow on top of the left for eagle arms. Keep the chest upright. So notice if you start to fall forward, keep lowering the shoulders down the back. And it's like you're trying to pull the arms apart, but you can't because the elbows and forearms are hooked. Eagle arms, stay with that. Straighten the front legs. Turn the toes to point forward so the heels kick out a little bit. Press down into the legs. Lift the lower belly. You're just going to come forward. So you're hinging from the hips. You can bend the knees as much as you want to. See if you can keep the eagle arms as you fold forward. Hands come down in front of the shoulders. Come up halfway. Bend the knees, float the hands to the waist, press back up to standing. Right toes turn out, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose, maybe a vinyasa to downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up and back. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Left foot steps way up between the hands. Keep the back toes tucked as you set the back knee down. Reach the arms up. Cactus the arms, lion's breath. Inhale, reach up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lift the back leg. Maybe you bring the foot in a little bit. Right hand stays down. Left arm reaches up for that twist. Reach the left arm back behind you. Nice long circle till the left hand eventually makes it to the mat. Crescent pose. Make sure the feet are set up for success. Reach the arms forward and all the way up. Warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms together. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lunge into your warrior two. Inhale, reach up, stay here. Turn those left toes in, heels in, toes out. Wide-legged squat, hands down in front of the heart. Cactus the arms. Bring the elbows out wide, chest is nice and open. This time, left elbow on top of right. Eagle arms. Shoulders down the back. Knees are still wide, going right over the toes. Keep the eagle arms, straighten the legs, turn the toes to point forward so the heels kick out. Fold forward, hinge from the hips, nice strong legs, or you can put a bend in the legs if that helps. And it's still like you're trying to pull the arms apart as you're folding forward, so you feel that space across the upper back. Hands come down in front of the shoulders, come up halfway, bend the knees, hands float to the waist, rise up to standing, turn those left toes all the way out, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Exhale the hands down to the mat, step back to plank pose. Make your way back, downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up and back. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Right foot steps forward, up between the hands. Set that back knee down. Reach the arms up, low lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms, lion's breath. Inhale, reach back up. Hands come down to the mat. Lift the back knee. Maybe you hop the foot in a little bit. Left hand stays down. Right arm reaches up. Reach back with that right arm, eventually bringing the right hand down to the mat. Crescent pose when you're ready. Reach the arms forward and up. Open it up, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, stay here. Turn those right toes in. Bring the heels in, toes out. Goddess pose, hands in front of the heart. Cactus the arms, open up across the chest. Right arm on top of the left arm. Garudasana arms. Straighten the legs, come to standing, kick the heels out so the toes point forward, reach the arms out wide, angle in the left toes, turn the right toes all the way out. Triangle pose, shift the hips back, reach that right arm forward, then down, let it rest lightly on the shin, on a block outside the calf, maybe on the mat. But it's not about how far that hand goes. It's about the length in the right side of the body. So if you go down too far, you lose that length. Maybe you reach up a little bit more with the left arm. Maybe you just spread both arms and see where the body lands. Left arm reaches up and over the ear. Hands come down to the mat. Back to plank pose. Take a vinyasa. Back to downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up and back. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Step the left foot through, up between the hands. Set the back knee down. Reach the arms up. Exhale, lion's breath, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lift the back knee. Right hand stays down. Left arm reaches up. Find that twist. Reach back with the left arm. Bring it down to the mat. Crescent pose when you're ready. Open up, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, palms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. This time, inhale, reach up. Turn those left toes in to face the side of the mat. Heels in, toes out. Wide-legged stance in your squat, goddess pose. Cactus the arms, open the chest. Left arm on top of right. Eagle arms. Up to you if you stay with the hold or if you move a little bit. Straighten the legs, turn the toes to point forward, reach the arms out wide, right toes angle in a little bit, left toes turn out, triangle pose. Take your time getting it set up, feeling your way through Trikonasana. Press down into both legs, hug the belly in, open the chest. Maybe you spread the arms out wide. Reaching through both fingertips. Right arm reaches up and over. Right hand comes down to the mat. Both hands, vinyasa. Catch your breath, downward facing dog. Feel free to exhale out of the mouth, sigh it out if you want to. So we'll play with that flow a little bit. Right leg lifts up and back. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Step the right foot through, up between the hands. Set the back knee down. Shift it way back. This time, reach the arms up. Let's do this first. Cactus the arms, stick the tongue out. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Right arm reaches up. Keep the back knee down. Right arm reaches up so that in the twist with the back knee down. Then reach to the back of the mat. You can stay here. You can bring the right hand to the hip, or if you feel open enough, you'll need to shift that left knee way back. Bring the heel in. See if you can grab the outer edge of the foot. It's a pretty deep quad stretch. If this is good enough here, you can stay here. Some of you might be able to come down onto the left forearm. Keep the left shoulder out of the ear. If you have the foot, gently release it. Tuck the toes. Reach the right arm down to the mat. Back to your lunge. So you're lifting the back knee. Take it to crescent pose, nice and slow. Open up, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, hands overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Sharp breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. This time, inhale, reach up. Keep reaching up, turn those right toes in, wide-legged squat, goddess pose. Cactus the arms, open the chest, right arm over the left arm, eagle arms. Lower the shoulders, spread them out wide. See if you can come down a little lower. Then straighten the legs, spread the arms out wide, angle in the left toes, turn the right toes all the way out, triangle pose. Reach the left arm up and over the ear. Maybe the right arm floats forward. Come back up to standing, warrior two. Inhale back, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step back to plank pose, vinyasa, back to downward facing dog. So putting it all together. Left leg reaches up and back, open up the hip, bend the knee. Step the left foot through to the top of the mat, set the back knee down, reach the arms up. Cactus the arms, lion's breath on the exhale. Inhale, back up. Hands come down to the mat. Right hand stays down, left arm reaches up. Reach back with the left arm, open the chest. Stay like this, hand to hip, or maybe that right foot comes in and you reach for the outer edge of the foot. Block can go underneath the right hand. You can come down to the forearm. If you have the foot, gently release it. Bring the left hand down to the mat. Lift the back knee. Keep those outer hips engaged so they're squeezing in to help you rise up, crescent pose. Warrior two. Spin the back heel down flat, open up. Next inhale, reach up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. This time stay here. Inhale, reach up. Turn those left toes in, heels in, toes out, goddess pose. Cactus the arms, open the chest, left arm on top of right, Garudasana, eagle arms. Maybe you sit a little lower. Maybe you try to pull the arms apart a little bit more. Hands away from the face, right over the elbows. Straighten the legs to come back up to standing. Spread the arms out wide. Angle on the right toes. Turn the left toes all the way out. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right arm reaches up and over. So you're getting really long on the right side of the body. Then lift the left arm up so you get really long on the left side of the body. Take it all the way up to standing, warrior two. Inhale back, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Lower down halfway chaturanga. Inhale up for your back bend. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up and back. So we're changing it up this time just to get a twist in. Step the right foot forward, up between the hands. Set the back knee down, reach the arms up. Cactus the arms, exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, reach up. Bring the left hand down, right arm up, lift that back knee, you're back in that twist. Find that circle, take it up to crescent pose. Maybe you don't even need the hands on the mat. Bring the hands together, down in front of the heart, start to lean forward and twist. Hook the elbow outside of the thigh. Keep stretching the left leg back, hug the belly in, open the chest. Keep the hands together. If you want to take a deeper twist, you could open up the arms wide, but see what's feeling good today. If you open up the arms wide, bring the hands back together, back down to the mat. Set the back knee down, untuck the toes, shift the hips back, take half splits, shift the heel forward, stretch the heart forward. If you want to take a bigger version of splits, you're welcome to by shifting the back leg back, but if you're good here, stay here. Come back up onto the sole of the right foot. Tuck the back toes, extend the back leg, step back to plank pose. Maybe a vinyasa takes you back to downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up and back, open up the hip, bend the knee, step the left foot through, up between the hands, set the back knee down, reach the arms up, inhale, exhale, lion's breath, cactus the arms. Reach up, inhale. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up, tuck the back toes, extend the back leg. Reach back with that left arm all the way up to crescent pose. Use the strength you've been building. Bring the hands together, down in front of the heart. Lean forward, open the chest to the left, hook the elbow. Keep stretching that right leg back behind you. Hands together or arms apart, whatever you did on the first side. If it works on this side. Hands back together if you open them. Bring the hands down to the mat. Set the back knee down, untuck the toes. Ardha Hanuman. Shift the hips back, come up onto that front heel, push it forward, reach the heart forward. So you take the rounding out of the upper back. If you did it on the first side and you want to extend even more, start to shift the back leg back. Coming into a fuller version of splits if you'd like. Come back onto the sole of the left foot. Take your time, plant the palms, tuck the back toes, extend the back leg. Last vinyasa if you want it. Back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out of the mouth. Bring the knees down to the mat. Keep the knees hip width distance apart. Tuck the toes and then just walk the hands up toward the hips. And if you want to, you can double up the mat depending on what kind of a surface you're practicing on. If you're on carpet, it's probably fine. But knees hip width distance apart. Bring the hands to the hips, standing on the knees. Toes are tucked. Left hand, bring it to the lower back. Reach the right arm up. So you're kind of pushing the hips forward as you reach up and back. That left elbow is pointing straight back. Heart is shining up, not over to the left. Then bring it back up. Hands to the waist, and we'll go to the other side. So right hand goes to the lower right side of the back, left arm reaches up, and you're finding a back bend here. So you're reaching up and back, but you're not opening the chest to the right. You're keeping the hips pointing forward, the heart going straight up to the sky. Bring it back up to standing on the knees. So you have the option to take a little deeper this time if you want to. Left hand goes to the lower back, reach the right arm up, come right back to where we just were. If you feel like the left heel's right there, maybe you reach back, keep reaching up with the right arm, keep shining the chest up, not to the side. Lift the lower belly, lengthen the tailbone. Left hand lower back, come back up, hands come to the waist, just let that settle for a moment. Right hand lower, right side of the back, reach the left arm up. Take time in the setup. So allow yourself to get long in the whole front side of the body and the back side of the body. If you feel like it might be right there, reach back, see if the heel's there. Keep shining the chest up. Try not to let it open to the right. Slowly bring it back up. Sit back onto the heels. Take a little breather. Maybe you close the eyes. You can rest the hands on the thighs. You could bring the hands together on the heart too. Feeling the energy that you're bringing into the body, especially if you're tired, might just feel nice to feel the heartbeat so strongly. Then blink open the eyes, come back up onto the knees. Separate the knees hip width distance, either toes tucked, or if it was pretty easy, you could just bring the tops of the feet to the mat. You decide. And blocks are good too. They would go on the outside of the ankles. This time, bring both hands to the lower back. Lift and spread the chest open. Keep the hips over the knees. If you decide you want to bring the hands down, you do need to shift the hips back a little bit, but once they touch, you shift the hips forward. And then you come into your deep Ustrasana camel pose. Preserve the length of the neck. So it's not about pinning the back of the head to the back. See where you can get a little bit more length. Waking yourself up for this glorious day ahead of you. Take another inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back up. Sit back onto the heels. If you have the mat doubled up, extend it back out in front of you and just rest here. Hands resting on the thighs or maybe hands on the heart. Then with the knees and the feet together, take child's pose. You could reach the arms back behind you or out in front of you. Out in front of you actually is pretty nice. Foreheads down to the mat. And start to walk the hands in. Come to seated on the mat. Extend the legs out in front of you. Then walk the right foot in. Wrap the left arm around the leg. Bring the right hand back behind you. Sit up nice and tall, coming into a seated twist. Start to turn the chest to point forward. Bring the sole, the right foot inside of the left leg. So this right knee comes out to the side. If it's lifted way up high and you have a block, put that underneath you or a pillow. Then reach the arms all the way up. Center the chest with the left toes and fold forward, Janu Shirshasana. Hands can come down on either side of the leg. If the foot is right there and you don't have to reach for it, you can grab it. But if you feel like you're reaching for it, just bring the hands down. Let the head come down toward the knee. Start to walk the hands back in. Use the right hand to bring the knee back up to center, slowly extending the leg, and then bring the left foot in. Sit evenly onto both hips. Left hand comes back behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Wrap the right arm around the bent leg. Keep the right foot flexed. Open the chest. Gaze in the direction you're twisting in. Look over the back of the mat. See if you can press down into both sit bones a little more evenly. Slowly unwind. Sole of the left foot comes inside of the right leg. Get even on the sit bones. Reach the arms all the way up on the inhale. Center the chest with the right toes. Reach over the right leg. Fold forward. See where the pose is on this side. Keeping the breath nice and calm, staying right here. Head starts to drift toward the knee. Start to walk the hands back in. Let's bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Grab the inner edges of the feet, sit up tall, open up the feet like a book if they'll allow it. Lead with the heart as you fold forward. Head comes down once you find that hip opening. Rise back up. Use the hands to bring the knees back together. Extend the legs out in front of you. Reach the arms all the way up. Fold over the legs. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Rise back up to seated. Decide if you want Shavasana or a seated meditation. Get yourself set up for either pose using any props, pillows, blankets you might have, or nothing at all. Closing the eyes wherever you land. Coming into a space of just being. If there are thoughts still in the mind, just observing them, watching them go right by. Slowly start to wiggle the hands and the toes. If you're in Shavasana, reach the arms overhead. Roll over onto your right side. And use the hands to bring yourself up to an easy cross-legged seat. Let's bring the hands together. Bow the head to honor and acknowledge our heart and spirit. as well as everyone around us. Bring the head back up, blink open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you. Hope you all feel more awake than you did when you first started and calm down if that's what you needed. Our practice is like an adaptogen. It just takes you to wherever you need to go.